everybody, and welcome to the History and Chill channel. And today we are celebrating my 100 subscribers mark. And yeah, the name of the 100 subscriber was Roman, which is derived from Latin, the Latin word Romanus, which means of Rome. So that's why I thought today to make a little video about Rome itself. I have researched like 21 questions about Rome, and I answered them in this video with some facts and stuff like that. So yeah, Roman, my 100 subscribers, if you're watching this, this is for you. Question number 1. Who founded Rome? Now there are two myths, two legends about the foundation of Rome. The first is the one of a man named Aeneas. He was a mythical Roman hero who was sent to fight in the besieged city of Troy. The city fell, and he saved some Trojan people, took them to Rome, where their cultures and beliefs mixed. The Romans thought very highly of Greeks, and obviously Trojans, which is why they loved this story, because it means, sort of proves like for them that they had like Greek roots. And yeah, Aeneas became like the Roman forefather. The second legend is the one you all probably know, about Romulus and Remus. These two brothers were the sons of the temple virgin Rhea. She got raped by the god of war, Mars. Rhea gave birth to Romulus and Remus, but she put them on the river Tiber. The two brothers were rescued by a wolf. The wolf then raised them, and after this, the two brothers founded the city of Rome. Romulus then killed his brother Remus. So moving on to question number 2. What are patricians? The first kings of Rome, they pointed out councillors, and in the beginning these councillors, they would change a lot, but after a while these patricians or councillors formed their own social class within the Roman society. And yeah, obviously it were members of rich and wealthy families. So that are patricians, which is important to answer the next question. Question number 3, how did Rome become a republic? This happened because the son of a king called Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, awesome name, raped a patrician's daughter in 509 BC. This girl then killed herself out of shame, and the public was just outraged. There were riots in the street, and the people were shouting Res Publica, which means the public case. From now on, the Senate had the power, and Rome was a republic. Question number 4. What gods did the Romans have? The Romans worshipped many gods. They saw gods everywhere. In rivers, seasons, months, and even all the houses in Rome had divine protectors. That protector received sacrifices to appease them. If not, bad things could happen. The Romans also kind of copied the Greek gods. As I already said, the Romans, they looked up to the Greek culture. For example, you have like Zeus, who became Jupiter. Ares became Mars, and Aphrodite became Venus. Until the rise of Christianity, these core gods formed like the core of Roman religion. However, the Roman god system, like their gods, they knew fashion trends. For example, when Rome conquered Egypt in the 1st century BC, Roman women started worshipping the god Isis, the goddess of motherhood. Also, there was a cult around the male Indian Persian god called Mithra, especially popular amongst the legionaries. Question number 5. Do all roads lead to Rome? Now, if you live in Europe, and I don't know, maybe also like other parts of the world, you probably heard the expression all roads lead to Rome. And yeah, in Europe this for sure is the truth. Because the Romans, they built road systems throughout their territory to make sure their troops could maneuver fast in case of a rebellion or an invasion. The starting point of this road system was called the Golden Milestone on the Forum Romanum in Rome itself. All other milestones were based on this center point, and they were 1.5 kilometers away from each other. These roads were straight, because the engineers did not hesitate to build roads through rivers and hills. In total, they made 272 main roads, who were stretched over 85,000 square kilometers. Even the furthest province was directly connected with the heart of the empire because of this road system. Very impressive if you ask me. Question number 6. Why did Romans wear a toga? A toga is a 6-meter long piece of clothing, very unpractical to wear because the left hand is always being used. You have to hold it yourself, and it is also very warm, and in Rome, Italy, it can be hot. So why would they wear it? Now, the Romans, they wore it actually to kind of show off, because a toga is something you cannot put on yourself, so you need slaves to put it on for you. And if you wore a toga, it meant that you were rich and owned slaves who could help you dress. So it was actually some sort of like Romans flexing on each other with their togas. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. In fact, question number 7. How did they develop the sewage? The sewage of Rome, the cloaca maxima. I think it means like the large anus or something. I'm not sure, but the cloaca maxima is the biggest sewer in Rome, and it probably just started out as a simple gutter where sewage would like drain or leak through, but it got covered up in time because of the stench, obviously. And then when it was dry weather for a long time, the sewage would start to pile up within it, and it will get very stinky in the city. And to counter this, they made sure there was water that was directed through the aquaducts in Rome, and the water was connected to the sewer, and it leaked water through it so that it would flow away, all the waste would flow away. And yeah, that was like the sewage system. So how it got developed, I'm sorry. Question number 8. Did Caesar wear a laurel wreath? When Julius Caesar was aging, he was becoming bald, and he wanted to cover it up, which is why he wore a laurel wreath around his head all the time. Now, normally this was only allowed for landowners who came back from a triumph and were paraded through the streets of Rome. But because Julius Caesar was basically a Roman dictator, nobody actually could say he couldn't do it, so he wore it every day to cover up his bald spot. Yeah, balding is never fun. Question number 9. How many legions did Rome have? In the times of the kings, Rome had a small unit of drafty civilians. When Rome became became a republic, the army was divided in units of around 4,500 men. This gave birth to the classic legion, Roman legion. First there were 2, 3, 4, etc. During the civil wars, Rome counted up to 50 legions. The empire was so big, it needed a professional army. These soldiers served for about 16 to 20 years in return for a piece of land and a stable income. During the times of the emperors, Rome did not know any huge conquering. Their army shrank to about 25 to 30 legions deployed at Rome's borders. In the 2nd century, the army collapsed due to civil war. The army then existed out of 150 legions of around 1,000 men. They were barely a match with the trained elite soldiers from the times. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit on a document I made because I sometimes get lost with my eyes when I'm reading. Question number 10. Were Christians actually fed to the lions? There was a time that Christians were criminals because they denied the Roman religion of state. Criminals could be punished by damnatio ad bestias, which means being killed by animals. Emperor Nero would have suppressed the Christians heavily. Many of his successors also despised the Christians. I'm sorry for the background noise, that's my neighbor returning home. So yeah, anyways, moving on to question number 11. Who was the first emperor of Rome? Augustus was the first emperor of Rome. He was the heir of Caesar and came to power in 27 BC after a bloody civil war. Augustus, however, did not get killed like Caesar did. In the time of his reign, there was a 40 years dynasty after his reign, Question number 12. How much water did aqueducts bring to Rome? Rome got water from 11 aqueducts with a total length of around 480 kilometers. It costed around 180 million sesterces. They used 1.1 million of cubical meters of water every day. Question number 13. Cubical liters, obviously. I'm sorry, not meters. Question number 13. What got the Romans excited? The Romans loved entertainment. Obviously, we all know that. Carriage riding was a football of the time. The civilians came in large numbers towards the Circus Maximus, probably pronounced Circus Maximus in Latin, I think. Sometimes there were even up to 150,000 spectators. I think that Rome counted around 1.1 million citizens, so it would be around 1/10 of the whole population being in one place. That's a lot. Question number 13. Was Emperor Nero really a madman? Psychiatric analysts today would call Nero a psychopath due to the lack of empathy and mental control. He saw enemies everywhere and killed his own mother. He killed his first bride and he beat to death another. Upon his suicide, he apparently said, "What an artist dies with me." Question number 15. I'm sorry for the noise. I truly am. Question number 15. What was up? What was up with Roman hygiene? Romans enjoyed bathhouses when they had the time. The terms, I think you said it, we pronounced like that in English, formed the basis of Roman hygiene. Rich and poor all under one roof, and prostitutes often accompanied their clients. According to Emperor Marcus Aurelius, all there was in the terms was oil, sweat, dirty and greasy water, so it might not have been that clean after all. I also doubt that it would have been clean. But yeah. Question number 16. Did the Romans throw up during lunchtime? Yes, some of them did. This happened in the elites of Romans. Dish after dish was being served, and it was customary to make space by putting a finger in his throat to induce vomiting if he felt that he hadn't that space in his stomach anymore. If the vomit missed the therefore intended bowl, there was a vomit slave who cleaned up the vomit. Talk about a nice job. Question number 17. How much did a gladiator cost? A trained gladiator costed around 1,000 to 2,000 sesterces. This was around 10 or 20 times the annual salary of a legionary. Sometimes for a champion, they would pay 15,000 sesterces, which is obviously a lot of money, but if you owned a champion, you could also make money from him, because I do believe that there were women who would pay vast amount of money to you if they could spend some time with the gladiator. You know what I mean? Question number 18. Why did the Roman Empire split? Constant riots, loss of control made it hard to control the large empire. The emperor lost his grip on this vast territory. Also, many emperors were incompetent. Emperor Diocletianus faced this problem by appointing companions. In 285, after the birth of Christ, he gave control of the Western Empire to Maximianus. 7 years later, they named another emperor and an heir. This so-called tetrarchy, I think you pronounce it like that in English, should have to control the empire. But when Diocletianus retired, his successors would fight over land. The empire was first reunited, then separated into empires to be reunited once again, up until Emperor Theodosius I died in 408. His two sons inherited the two parts of the empire, and now the division was permanent. The Western Roman did, however, not last long, but the eastern part, also called the Byzantine Empire, lasted up until 1453. Question number 19. What did the Romans love to eat the most? Apparently, they added fish sauce to everything they ate. That fish sauce was called garum, and they even put it on desserts, which is kind of funky sounding if you ask me, but yeah. Apparently, this was a great source of protein, and it helped diarrhea, and it could also help against the dog bites. So probably good against infections and stuff like that. Fish oil is, healthy thing to eat, in my opinion, I guess. I guess it is. Question number 20. Could a slave win his freedom? A slave could buy himself free if he could afford it, but he had to pay the initial price that was paid for him. So, for example, if he was bought at the age of 13, 14, when he was like a young man, healthy, the price would have been high. And if he then was like 50 years old, he could like pay him off, but he wouldn't be that much. He wouldn't have the same value anymore, but he would still have to pay the initial price, which made it kind of hard. But when a slave did buy himself free, he automatically became a Roman citizen. Other examples of expensive slaves were cooks, young and healthy ones, and slaves that were good at reading or math. Question number 21. What caused the end of the Roman Empire? 1. Unrest at the top. There was no stable government. Everybody could become emperor if he was backed up by the army. This caused This caused a lot of civil wars. Within a year, there could be a multitude of Roman emperors, only to be killed by another power-hungry Roman with military support. 2. The economy kinda collapsed. There were plundering armies and counterproductive trade agreements. Bad governments caused the collapse of the economy. This caused the empire to lose even more grip on the Roman Empire, because Roman citizens kinda had to take the initiative. And then the third reason is barbaric tribes crossed the borders. The Huns attacked Europe and forced other tribes out of their homes. They crossed the Roman borders. The weak legions could not win against the Franks, Goths, Vandals, and Burgundies. In 476, they got rid of the last emperor named Augustus. And these are the 21 questions asked and answered that I prepared for this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. As I already mentioned in the beginning of the video, I am now over 100 subscribers. I even received an email of the YouTube creators, but I'm sure it's auto-generated to congratulate on the 100 subscribers. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of it. Anyways, if you like the video, you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more. Goodbye.